So it's all complicated, one hears, inclusive myself. It's all complicated. And in a way, I ask myself, wait, is this maybe wanted to be complicated? That the remedies will be even more complicated? Could that be suspectable? And I think very simply, when it generates money, it is very highly probably the case. So it is, we are kind of going from a sophistication in technological ways of such a high degree, and running in problems with almost completely ununderstandable consequences, and are not thinking about other kind of ways how we can look at all that without losing the footing in the age of reason, in which hopefully we are still are a little bit, to say it mildly. So we are in a very complicated time, we are told. So that means also we are told to not think we ourselves could ever understand even slightly what's going on. It is December 24th, 2024. Interesting date, by the way. Whatever. It's all what has. Now I'm right in the middle of a totally different point, but which might be connected. Like, what is the meaning of all? Is there any meaning around? Because without meaning, it's kind of like whatever. Empires, they come down when they lose their meaning, in a way, you could almost say. And so we are coming into a time of discussions about meanings, and they are based on definitions of the truth. And so we get into a truth argument of a biblical dimension, or way beyond that, which is, in my eyes, kind of like that has the potential to lay open old questions which haven't been asked for a while. So it is not easy for most to even accept that something as far-fetched as intelligent life, which is above us intelligent and flies around with funny stuff in the skies. I'm not showing any videos, but there is kind of like the probability seems to have gone up in the people's perception. So it has a lot to do with media. So the question is kind of like, what is really media worthy? What can we tell people that they see with their own eyes? Most of the stuff is totally boring, which is totally important for our life. But there are just things which are too beautiful not to be filmed, like lights in the sky and funny circles and triangles and all that. But on the other end, there is the Gaza slaughterhouse after it has been a concentration camp. It becomes a slaughterhouse from the north moving down. So that's the other feed of imagery we take note of. We are a little bit getting used to atrocities being done in the Gaza and West Bank and all that. We are kept informed. We see the pictures, so we are totally because once you become a picture oriented person, you also become kind of like you're getting a wider angle of look onto something, but in same time you're disconnected still from the from the reason. It is reason has to find clues in a picture what it is. So then together they inform your feelings about. Uh, so this is what's happening and crazy. And Ukraine war, less photogenic, less images coming, and the images we get are like from computer games, and it's exploding tanks and shit like this, and of course people and all like that. But in that conflict, we are already kind of like, yeah, how many years do we have to fight? Keep fighting. That whatever it is for an artist like myself. This stream of imagery which comes out of the central Gaza or northern Gaza or whatever Gaza. This picture stream is from an artistic point of view reminds to 500-year-old paintings by Hieronymus Bosch, who painted hell, and he kind of foresaw that coming. If you're interested, uh, Google Hieronymus Bosch, a very inspiring painter of the future, inclusive orbs, etc. So yes, and so now in this grotesquely bloody imagery, uh, we have this counter imagery of basically the American population starting to look up into the sky. And I think that is a beautiful outcome of it because it draws away from the smartphone. It's kind of you look up, you don't look on your smartphone. At least the ones who are fishing for pictures, maybe, yeah, probably still more hours spent on people watching all that. But there is something coming into play which would be the absolute joker of the whole human experience. Humanity's experience becoming kind of like an upload. It will become kind of like after humanity 1.0 to 1.7 uh, becoming all of a sudden humanity 2.0 after kind of like 500,000 years of existence in the first year, but not really because they had obviously seen all kinds of funny stuff which we can't imagine what it is if we are excluding everything which has to do with like extragalactic life or higher intelligence forms, which I claim are probably in the ocean, not in the galaxy. And so it's like a counter image, because it awakes hope in many people, it is quite amazing how this is spreading hope. Uh, and if not only on the very simple basis that you can say that all this what we are seeing is not killing anyone. It's not aggressive. It's not pointed towards a war or anything like that. It's just show. It's it's nighttime and it's a show. It's like if a bunch of Harleys drive through our town at night and we don't really know what they are. They are dark. They have the shape of bats or triangles, and they have like bizarre sounding motors, or they are quiet. And but you haven't really figured out who the hell it was. But they had the lights on once in a while, and then they turned them off again, and they were just totally free in like, shall I put the light on? Yes, no, okay, off, bye bye. And so the main question in all these talks about the all these so-called drones, the main question is what's about the drones which have no lights on? I think that's to my logic. That's my first question I had. What's about those drones? Mm. So, welcome on my deep thinking think tank, which is floating in the ocean with a kind of parrot as captain, who is kind of like done with land because he found out that basically most problems appear on land but not on the water. Well, it's just how it is. It's a good place to contemplate. And if you have a connection to the outside, like internet or something, you're in a good place to sort out kind of bullshit from. What is it? Is it the truth? Mm, it, I would be happy if it is the very probable. If it could be called the very probable, it doesn't have to be the truth. It does need at one corner. It needs kind of a crack point, like an emergency brake instrument. But otherwise, uh, it's kind of how I see that. And now what we are going through in the last weeks and concentrated in New Jersey and all that just makes me absolutely laugh. Even though I admit that it must be super scary when you um, when we experience that over your house. And wow, that is, and then maybe standing in the air and like having funny lights on and all that. That's a scary thought. I really have to admit. So I haven't seen any UFOs since I hear this news about UFOs. I look less at the night sky. I don't want to be freaking out. They could be around here. I mean, I'm not. I'm never looking up. I'm kind of totally almost isolated from the up. It's right now the sun is so hefty and so brutal that I try to spend the whole day in the boat and enjoy the solar panels, which give me electricity to make funny videos about quite a few things which I connect in maybe pictures also in what I want to say, because I think pictures are lacking in a drier and drier way how we get stuff communicated. And so I it kind of makes me laugh because I wrote a story in 2009, which is kind of like, it's so connected with these drone sightings and the reaction of the people. Uh, but I have written it not in a drone related way, but in a totally different related incident which happened one single time in like in recorded history or whatever you want to call it. And it's changed nothing. It's changed absolutely nothing, but it was kind of like a very remarkable incident which was worldwide received, but not by all, because most pretended or said or whatever that they did not hear that. It's an acoustic story. It's a very interesting acoustic story where I spin a chain of incidents which are all put in motion by other incidences which turned out to be similar in the same moment worldwide. In one moment there was this strange incident that it just kind of like it stunned the humanity. And of course the internet, it's all included in the story. It's about internet, it's about social media, it's about all that. Very interesting story. I put the link under this video, and whoever reads it, be prepared. This plot I'm using is so bizarre that I have never really seen anything of that kind. And should you know something which resembles my plot, please let me know. I will be very interested if others came up with such a weirdo, wacko plot, which all of a sudden I kind of see it in slow motion, what I describe in fast motion, because the incident is even more bizarre than seeing stuff in the sky. So it is like a fable. I wrote it as a fable, and in the South Pacific on an island in a village, and it's a short story. It takes kind of like maybe 3/4 hour to read, and it was written in 2009, and it is what is happening now in through like a turbo, and not drones have zero place in that story. So it's a good kind of like see it from a different side kind of story. Also a good distraction, yes, exactly, a good distraction from what's going on on the internet in concerning drones and orbs and all that. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Okay, bye bye, and have a good time, and all that.